Hello, let's talk about resists for wet felting projects. My name is Lina Archbold. I create lots of different wearables using resists. I run felt making online school Felt with Lina. I also run membership club Felt with Lina. I had many questions. What materials I use for resists? How I create resist. One, how I store my resist. Storage can be a problem, especially if you use this white foamy underlay for laminate and wooden flooring. I stop using that, totally walk away, and on my table you can see, look at that. This is resist in action. Look at that. Sleeve for the jacket. So what exactly I use for my resist? Let me just show. So that's what I use. And let me to share with you the name of the make. This is called Walden. Walden probably the make. Yellow, 15 micron barrier membrane, length 10 meters, width 2 meters, and I pay 16 pounds. Yeah, this is folded in 1 meter, but there are double 2 meters here. Why I started to use this? Before I use this white foam underlay for wood and laminate floor. First of all, in Britain it comes in 90 centimeters width. Quite often I needed project like 120 meters by 1 meter. I have to add, I have to use some kind of tape, which I lose this tape during felting, and it's impossible to stitch this together. And it's bulky. For storing, it's nightmare, and it's not as durable as plastic. Okay, I use and reuse my resists, and I build other resists based on existing resists. So let me just show. This is a resist of back of my jacket. Can you see? And how I create resist? Obviously, I have a pattern. For example, increase this pattern by coefficient of pattern increase. By the way, I have a blog on website Lina Archbold about coefficient of pattern increase and shrinkage. Look there. So when I come up with resist, and I usually draw straight away on this paper, all open edges, I have supporting, I don't know how it's called, supporting resist, look, around 4 centimeters. Open edges, neckline, armhole, and bottom, okay? Why? Because we need this for layout, because layout need to come out. Then I stitch, look at that. Can you see the stitch? And I use cotton. I think this is Aran weight cotton yarn. You can use even Hessian, something strong and which would not felt, but it should not felt, because at some stage of during felting we remove resist. Felt to our felt. I mean this yarn. It would be disaster. So then I just sit and with big needle put this stitches through. Okay, let me just show you exactly what I mean on our layout. So on my table I have a layout of one sleeve. I have 2 sleeves, and if you look at the bottom, I put this green line at the bottom. Green could be any color, just I had green. Can you see? It does help me to create this neat edge. And by the way, in my next video, I will share with you another tip how to create neat edge. I think I have 12 in my online school, Felt with Lina, 12 tips. It's another one, right? So, and this sleeve will be connected to the jacket, so you might don't see it. I mean, I can see on my table, like in print, I can see these lines where I'm going to do connections. And that is very useful to have these lines. Let me just show you on this pattern. Can you see? Look. Can you see these cotton lines? So I draw first with pen the lines. By the way, there is a magic sponge which allows you to remove any pen from the resist. So if you wore it, you can use it. So here line, okay, bottom as well, right? Look, this is the resist. This is one of the reasons I use this plastic. Another reason why I use this particular material, because as I demonstrated to you, it's easy to stitch, and I do create book resist, and where we need to stitch few layers of resist. So that's another reason why I use this particular material. By the way, if you don't have access to this particular plastic, you might have similar. Just check your DIY shops. Or before I came across this, I use this massive heavy-duty garden bags. They come in different colors, usually black, brown, or green. Doesn't matter, color doesn't matter. They're obviously not as big as that roller, but if you don't have this, or you want to try first before investing £16, you might invest £5 into pack of bags stitched together for the size you need. It needs to be thick, but heavy duty garden bags thick, okay? So another reason why I use this plastic, storage. Storage is the problem for me when I have so many patterns and resist. So what I do, I store in files. So let me just show how I store. I put my resist, can you see there is a resist here, in this plastic sleeve. I also put the pattern. Quite often I like to make my own patterns, okay, with all dimensions. I also write or type coefficient of pattern increase, final dimensions of the garment, materials I use, okay. So that's, then I have, can you see, patterns here, and that's a book resist for the dress, right? And resist is here, massive, over it's 2 meters length, massive book resist here. That's all about resists. So if you found this interesting and want to expand your knowledge on wet felting in a more structured way, check my blogs. You will find them on Lina Archbold website. Check my online classes. You can find either online classes via Lina Archbold main website, or just directly go Felt with Lina. And welcome to our club, Felt with Lina. That's where lots of fun happening. learning, joining into conversation with members from around the world, sharing. And that's how I create projects. My members tell me what they want to learn. This is one of the project goals we call challenges. Jacket we create during winter time. Thank you so much for your attention. All the best. See you soon.